Hi everyone, my name is Nora Crone. I'm a violist in New York City, co-founder of the Till Project for String Players, and a musician's vocal dystonia recovery advocate. And today I'm going to be talking about the subject of physical logic and how we can use physical logic to recover from musician's vocal dystonia. So let's start by explaining what we mean by physical logic. Think for just a moment about cooking a meal. Even if you're not a gourmet chef, just consider the complexity of all of the movements involved in creating even a simple meal. Opening and closing doors and cupboards, opening containers, measuring, cutting. And yet you probably never took lessons to learn how to whisk an egg or peel an apple. And in reality, we don't even think about it. In fact, we usually only notice our movements in the kitchen when something goes wrong because we hurt ourselves or our muffins end up on the floor. So how is this possible? The reason that we're able to cook a meal without babysitting our movements is because those movements are obeying a certain physical logic that we learn and instinctually employ throughout our daily life. And that logic, in part because it harmonizes with the way the body is designed to move, becomes easily hardwired and stable. So it follows pretty intuitively that if we want our playing to function as easily and reliably as our daily tasks, we need to employ the same physical logic that we use in our everyday lives. So, what does this have to do with musicians' vocal dystonia? Now, no one knows exactly what causes dystonia, but what's clear is that in the case of task-specific dystonia, the symptoms often only appear in certain situations, when we're playing a concerto, not when we're making a souffle. Why? Based on my experience, which you can learn about more in some of my previous videos, which I'll link to down below, the reason dystonic symptoms most often arise most strongly when we're playing our instrument, but not when we're in the kitchen, has to do with the physical logic that we're employing in those two situations. I'm not saying that it's the only factor involved, but based on my recovery experience and that of others who I've helped recover, it is a decisive factor. Now, I'm not a neurologist, but what I can say from personal experience is that producing movement that doesn't harmonize with physical logic is mentally and physically stressful, and that it can cause changes in the brain over time. No one knows exactly what causes us to tip over the line into dystonia, but the good news is that we can induce positive neuroplastic changes in the brain through movement. And making sure that the movements we use are in keeping with the physical logic that we employ in every other area of our lives is really the best way to make those movements as stable and reliable as the ones that we use in daily life. So what does physical logic look and feel like? How can we observe it in daily life? And how does that in turn inform our approach to playing? You can start by just noticing the way you use your hands and arms, cooking, cleaning, at the grocery store. And very quickly, you'll start to notice some fundamental principles. If you watch anyone in the cereal aisle of the supermarket, you'll see them bring an entire aligned finger-hand-forearm unit to the box of cereal, grab hold of it with the fingers as a team. Their arm and torso will adjust over the fulcrums of the feet as they pull it off the shelf and place it in their cart. If the cereal box has fallen on its side, let's say, they will rotate the entire finger-hand-forearm unit so that they can grab the box. And all the while, they may be shushing their toddler or talking on the phone or dancing to the music on the loudspeaker or maybe all at once because they don't have to think about it. When they get to the checkout and they have to hit buttons on a keypad, they press one button at a time, they let go, they move their entire finger, hand, and forearm to the next place, and then they press the next button. So if we take this incredibly simple example and apply it to a string instrument, for instance, what do we see? We see that we need to allow the body to move proportionally over the fulcrums of the feet to support the movements of the arms. We need to use an aligned finger, hand, and forearm unit wherever we go. We see that we use the movement of the arm, with the forearm being the engine and the upper arm and shoulder following, to get us from place to place in a way that keeps our fingers in a comfortable range of motion. We rest down in one place at a time with one finger touching, then we let go and bring the entire unit to rest down in the next place. Now, people often ask me, this is so antithetical to traditional technique. Does it really work? At high speed? What about chords? And the answer is yes, it really does work, with the addition of some other tools that we can't cover in this short video. So this is just a tiny taste of the physical logic needed for our playing to be truly comfortable and stable. And learning this physical logic over time with the guidance of violinist Sophie Till is what enabled me to recover from musician's vocal dystonia. You should know that, even though this information is readily observed at your local grocery store, in my experience, the most successful way to recover from dystonia is through regular lessons in applying the information directly to your playing according to your individual situation and the demands of the music. Please get in touch with me if you want to know more. I hope this video has been helpful. If so, please like it and forward it to anyone who you think might benefit. If you want more videos on dystonia recovery, you can subscribe to my channel, and if you want more tips on healthy string playing in general, you can subscribe to the Till Project. My name is Nora Crone, and my website is www.noracrone.com. Thanks everyone. See you next time.